Hi folks, today I want to share with you 8 great bestsellers for smart readers that you'll surely enjoy and will benefit from. These are the 8 great bestsellers for smart readers. You can have a view of the books here. Number 1 is One Good Deed by David Baldacci. For all those who love mystery, crime, Raymond Chandler, and Agatha Christie, from one of the world's best-selling thriller writers, David Baldacci. In 1949, Aloysius Archer arrives in the dusty southern town of Polka City. He has nothing but a handful of dollars, the clothes he's wearing, and an appointment with his new parole officer. After his wartime experiences in Italy and a prison sentence for a crime he didn't commit, Archer is looking for a fresh start and a peaceful life. On his first night of freedom, Archer meets local business tycoon Hank Peterman, who promises Archer handsome compensation to work as his debt collector. Yet Archer takes on more than he bargains for, as he becomes embroiled in a long-running feud between the drought-struck town's most dangerous residents. When one of them dies, the authorities label Archer as the #1 suspect. A bloody game is being played above and below the law. Everybody playing has a deeply buried secret, and Archer must uncover them all if he's to avoid going back behind bars. Number 2 is Wanted by Maya Banks. One dark secret, one destroyed engagement, and the baby that will expose everything. When wealthy developer Ryan Beardsley kicked his cheating fiancée out of his life, he couldn't help but write her one last check that would cover any and all expenses she could possibly have, except for some reason she never cashed it. He's stuck on that fact, stuck wondering why she betrayed him. New plan: track her down, get the answers he needs, and move on from her forever. Kelly Christian never wanted to see her ex-fiancé ever again. He turned out as rotten to the core as the rest of his family, pushing her away when she needed him the most. But now he's here in her dingy little cafe, demanding she move back in with him for the sake of the baby she's carrying, and the answers he wants that will destroy them both if he doesn't learn to trust her again. God is Not One by Stephen Protiro is number 3. In God is Not One, the 8 rival religions that roam the world. New York Times best-selling author of religious literacy and religion scholar Stephen Protiro argues that persisting attempts to portray all religions as different paths to the same God overlook the distinct problems that each tradition seeks to solve. Delving into the different problems and solutions that Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, Judaism, Confucianism, Yoruba religion, Taoism, and atheism strive to combat. God is Not One is an indispensable guide to the questions human beings have asked for millennia, and to the disparate paths we are taking to answer them today. Readers of Huston Smith and Karen Armstrong will find much to ponder in God is Not One. In the press, enormously timely, thoughtful, and balanced. Number 4. An Indigenous People's History of the United States by Roxanne Dunbar Ortiz. 2015 recipient of the American Book Award, the first history of the United States told from the perspective of Indigenous peoples. In An Indigenous People's History of the United States, Dunbar Ortiz adroitly challenges the founding myth of the United States and shows how policy against the indigenous peoples was colonialist and designed to seize the territories of the original inhabitants, displacing or eliminating them. And as Dunbar Ortiz reveals, this policy was praised in popular culture through writers like James Fenimore Cooper and Walt Whitman, and in the highest offices of government and the military. Shockingly, as the genocidal policy reached its zenith under President Andrew Jackson, its ruthlessness was best articulated by U.S. Army General Thomas S. Chisholm, who in 1836 wrote of the Seminoles, "The country can be rid of them only by exterminating them." Spanning more than 400 years, this classic bottom-up people's history radically reframes US history and explodes the silences that have haunted our national narrative. Number 5 is Designing Your Life by Bill Burnett and Dave Evans. This is an inspiring and thought-provoking graduation gift. At last, a book that shows you how to design a life you can thrive in at any age or stage. In this book, Bill Burnett and Dave Evans show us how design thinking can help us create a life that is both meaningful and fulfilling, regardless of who or where we are, what we do or have done for a living, or how young or old we are. The same design thinking responsible for amazing technology products and spaces can be used to design and build your career and your life, a life of fulfillment and joy, constantly creative and productive, one that always holds the possibility of surprise. Designing Your Life walks readers through the process of building a satisfying, meaningful life by approaching the challenge the way a designer would. Experimentation, wayfinding, prototyping, constant iteration. You should read the book. Everyone else will. Daniel Pink, best-selling author of Thrive. This is the career book of the next decade and the go-to book that is read as a rite of passage whenever someone is ready to create a life they love. David Keeley, founder of IDEO. Number 6 is the Intuitive Eating Workbook by Evelyn Tribole, L.C. Resch, and Tracy Tilchan. Do you use food to comfort yourself during stressful times? The Intuitive Eating Workbook offers a comprehensive evidence-based program to help you develop a healthy relationship with food, pay attention to cues of hunger and satisfaction, and cultivate a profound connection with your mind and body. The Intuitive Eating Workbook offers a new way of looking at food and mealtime by showing you how to recognize your body's natural hunger signals, structured around the 10 principles of intuitive eating. The mindful approach in this workbook encourages you to abandon unhealthy weight control behaviors, develop positive body image, and most importantly, stop feeling distress around food. You were born with all the wisdom you need for eating intuitively. This book will help you reconnect with that wisdom and ultimately change your life, one meal at a time. In the press. This is not just another book about dieting, but rather a simple 10-step approach to improve the relationship between food and one's mind, body, and soul. Number 7 is The Body in the Marsh by Nick Louth. A woman goes missing, and for the detective, this time it's personal. Criminologist Martin Knight lives a gilded life, but then his wife Liz disappears. There is no good explanation, and Martin goes on the run. To make things worse, Liz is the ex-girlfriend of DCI Craig Giller, who finds himself drawn into the investigation. Is this a missing person case or something more sinister? How dark can the truth be? Utterly gripping and full of twists, this is a compulsive thriller from master Nick Louth for fans of Robert Brinza, Patricia Gibney, and Carol Wire. Praise for Nick Louth. This splendid, chilling crime tale read me from the first page, fresh fiction. A fast-paced and explosive thriller about a subject that really matters. Reader review. This was up there with the best thrillers I have ever read. Reader review. And finally, number 8, What the CEO Wants You to Know. How Your Company Really Works by Ram Charan. In What the CEO Wants You to Know, Ram Charan explains in clear, simple language how to do what great CEOs do instinctively and persistently. Understand the basic building blocks of a company and use them to figure out how to make it work as a total business, being able to decide what to do when, despite the clutter or day-to-day to-do lists and the complexity of the real world. Takes the mystery out of business and offers a clear roadmap of organizational success. First published in 2001 with over 300,000 copies sold worldwide, But never before published in the UK, this business classic has been completely rewritten and updated with new stories from today's market leaders and companies and the latest insights from the cutting edge of management research. One of the world's most renowned management consultants and authors, Fast Company, in the press. These ideas help simplify complexity and provide a lifetime of value. What the CEO wants you to know is a gem of a book. Thanks for watching. Check below for links to our blog and more information about the books. Thank you very much.